Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, for those of you who have grown tired of Spider-Man films, I have to say that this film definitely does the character justice, but not just Peter Parker, but also Miles Morales, Penny Parker, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, Kingpin, and a ton of other characters, to the point where the film seems like it could be overstuffed, but it makes for a great story. But let's get to it, shall we? The story is about Miles Morales, the Spider-Man from the Ultimates universe, who gets bitten by a radioactive spider and becomes Spider-Man and has to stop Kingpin from opening portals in New York, which ends up pulling different spider people from all over the different multiverses into this one, meaning it's an adventure involving multiple spider people as Miles Morales has to get used to his powers and to his new responsibilities, while also stopping Kingpin from doing something that could threaten the multiverse as we know it. But that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. What did I like about the film? Well, there's a lot of stuff to like. Even though we've had an saturation of comic book films throughout this time, I think this one is definitely the most comic book out of the films. A lot of that has to do with its visual presentation. The visuals essentially are designed to look like a comic book come to life, with integrating a ton of different art styles in, from classic comic book styles to CGI cartoons to anime to film noir. Every single universe we end up in and every single scene we end up in is stylized in some form of fashion, and it even includes thought bubbles and sound effects during certain scenes. It really does make the overall series feel alive, and it makes the film really stand out when it comes not only to other Spider-Man films, but other comic book films in general. And also, this is the film debut of Miles Morales, and based on what I've read from his comic book, he's done absolutely well here. Not only given a great vocal performance, but the fact that he's given a backstory and given a family that are very well developed and very well defined throughout, it makes scenes with him very engaging. And they have to be engaging, considering that the pace of the film is very, very fast. The film is almost 2 hours long, but it has a lot of stuff to go through with a huge cast of characters, but it never feels like it goes way too fast, despite the fact that it feels like it only slows down for the emotional moments. It's just always on. It's just always moving through the action and always moving through the snappy dialogue and only taking a break when it absolutely needs to. And honestly, it really feels like it's done very well in a sense that other Spider-Man films just failed to do. That's not to say that the other Spider-Man films didn't have their strengths either. The Sam Raimi films, the Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming, even the Mark Webb films, I think all have their own strengths, but I think this one has almost all the strengths of a good Spider-Man movie and very few of the weaknesses. Miles Morales' relationship with Peter Parker is great. Gwen Stacy, played by Haley Steinfeld, is great. Penny Parker, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Ham are sort of only given side character roles, but they're still really good, and they often create some humorous moments on their own, as well as being cool in the action scenes. Heck, Nicolas Cage is Spider-Man Noir, and he's friggin' hilarious. If there's one minor flaw that I'd say the film has, it's that the main antagonist, Kingpin, while he does have a backstory and he does have a reason for his evil plan, it feels like it's another thing that goes a bit too fast for us to really feel sorry for him. I know he's supposed to still be threatening as well, but it feels like the fast pace in that one instance worked against the film, where we couldn't really feel too bad for him because it was just flying by so fast, like almost everything else in the film. But it's fast paced, and the fact that it has running gags about several bits of Spider-Man culture, has a designated Stan Lee cameo, has a really funny extended bit about every single Spider-Man's backstory. It lets you know that it's a film that knows when to take itself seriously and when not to, and it basically makes it the ultimate multiverse story that Spider-Man fans never even knew they wanted. And that's why I give Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse a 9.5 out of 10. It's one of the year's best comic book films, and you should definitely see it. See you next time.